Hey guys, Shrowd here, and in today's video I will be showing you how to use the Hunger, explain its effects, show you my build for using it, as well as advise you what gear is best to be combining with it. Remember to thumbs up the video if you liked it or you found it useful, comment down below if you want to discuss something, share the video as you see fit, and finally remember to follow me on Twitch and subscribe here on YouTube at the links down below for more Dauntless content. The Hunger is an exotic weapon in Dauntless and it is a sword. Before we begin with what is special about it, let us first see what it shares with all other swords in the game. Your primary and secondary attacks are the same as with any other sword, and the same applies to all of your combos. The Hunger does not have any new combos, patterns or attacks. It has a base damage of 310 and plus 40 Umbro damage, which means it would deal plus 40 more damage against targets with Umbro and minus 20 damage to targets which are resistant to it. Let's start with what the Hunger actually does. Once you unlock and get to use the weapon, you will find that instead of a standard sword meter, you actually have the same meter as the war pike. Your special ability will also change. While the meter is empty, until it becomes full, it will gradually increase your damage done from 0 to 25%. When you fully charge it, you can press your special ability button and enter what is known as a feast mode. During feast, you will deal 75% increased damage for 15 seconds, but you will also take damage equal to the damage you deal. If you use the special button again, during feast, a corruption arm will appear and hit the behemoth in front of you, returning back all the health that was drained by the sword during the feast. Before I move on with the builds, there are a couple of things that I want you to know and be careful about while using this weapon. Firstly, you're likely to die more to the sword than the behemoths if you're not careful. Activating the special meter will cause you to be immobile for around a second, and I think that there is also a small invulnerability window while doing it. You do not necessarily need to use the special ability, there is a strategy based around this, and there's also a strategy based around not using it. When you decide to use the special ability a second time to get your HP back, you need to be close to the behemoths since the range of the arm is very short. You do not need to worry about the behemoth hitting you when you activate the second time. Even if he hits you and throws you back, the arm will do its animation and still return the HP to you. The sword will return as much HP as it has taken. You will never receive more damage than you have done. If you evade every behemoth attack, you will always end up back to full HP whenever you use the feast ability. Currently, the Hunger cannot be used together with Tragic Echo Helmet because their effects seem to bug each other, and I advise anyone not to combine the two exotics until they are fixed. Move on to the strategies and builds around the Hunger. All of the builds with gear and cells will be in the description if you need them. I am trying to make these builds viable for after they fix the currently bugged stacking cells. Also, for all of my builds, I used an Ember main lantern with a +3 Aetheric attunement cell in it. The first one is the safer one, and it centers around building attack speed and damage through the rage stat and also double damage crits with the cunning stat. I have not yet unlocked a lot of +3 cells in order to make this build as good as possible, but I find it fairly good even with my current cells and gear. My chest is a Shrowd one at minimum level 6 with a +2 Pacifier Cell in it. My helmet is a Rezakiri one at base level with +3 Cunning Cell in it. My arms are Firebrand ones at minimum level 6 with +2 Aetheric Frenzy Cell in them. My legs are Ragetail ones at minimum level 6 with a +3 Aetherhunter Cell in them. The Hunger is at level 2 with +3 Rage Cell in it and a +2 Aetheric Frenzy Cell. You can adapt and swap cells if you have better ones, but the point of this build is to have from +4 to +6 Rage stat and at least +4 Cunning stat. This will give you a 5% chance for double damage and will increase your damage by 125% when under 50% HP. The Aetheric Attunement and Aetheric Frenzy will help you build your lantern faster and use your increased attack speed and fireball a lot more often. When using this build, you will take Blitz and Frenzy Tonics with you. The final potion you use is up to you. Either Bulwark or Stamina is what I find best. They are useful but not necessary. The strategy is to keep yourself below 50% HP so that you can get the rage buff. Secondly, keep your sword special meter full and keep Blitz Tonic up at all times. This will both increase your damage further by 25% and will also give you around 15 to 20% increased attack speed. The second one is a little bit riskier, but it has a higher risk, higher reward. It centers around using the Sword's Feast ability combined with double damage stat and 9 life stat. The 9 lives stat has a chance to reduce incoming damage in half. This also applies to the damage from the Hunger's Feast. The good thing, however, is that Feast returns as much damage as you have inflicted, not as you have taken, which means that you can have an overheal yourself if you're lucky with enough procs. To make it simple, if you deal 100 damage, you will take 100 damage and afterwards heal for 100 health. If 9 lives activates, you deal 100 damage, you take 50 damage and you heal for 100 health. This sounds overpowered, but do not forget that it is chance based, and it also means you will have to always hit with your second special attack and get the HP back. That is why it is a high risk, high reward build. Having the Energized stat in your gear will also help you build the meter faster and use it more often, which is the idea behind the build and its strategy. I do warn you, however, that you will have to play very careful and make sure you get hit as little as possible with this build. For this build, you can opt between a couple of choices based on whatever you want to have more Cunning stat or more 9 life stat. For both stats, you use Shrowd boots at minimum level 5 with +3 Energized Cell. For both stats, you also use Shrowd chest at a minimum level 6 with minimum +1 Rage Cell in them. For the helmet and gloves, option 1 is to go for Rezakiri helmet at base level with +3 Cunning Cell in it, and Rezakiri gloves at base level with +1 Cunning Cell in it. This is the Cunning stat option of this build. If you have upgraded the Rezakiri helmet and Rezakiri gloves to a higher level, you can replace the +1 Cunning Cell to something else to benefit you more. For the second option, if you want to focus on 9 lives, you use the same Shrowd boots and Shrowd chest, but you combine them with Firebrand Charak helmet at minimum level 6 with 9 life cell in it. I do not have any of those at the moment. If you do, that is good for you. If not, then I wish you happy farming because they are hard to get, but very useful. And the gloves remain the Rezakiri ones at base level with +3 Cunning Cell in it instead of the +1. Putting both builds to practice is very fun and enjoyable and gives you a new way to approach the game. I hope you like them and use them to your advantage. They will be viable after the fix of the currently bugged stats and cells. I tried coming up with them based on making builds which are bug-free and usable constantly, not only when there are issues with the game. If you want to know more about how to unlock, craft and upgrade the Hunger, then check out my video on that at the link in the description or at the end of this video. If you enjoyed the video, leave me a thumbs up down below. If you have any other suggestion or feedback regarding the builds, then drop me a comment. Remember to share the video as you see fit, and lastly, to follow me on Twitch and subscribe here on YouTube for more Dauntless content.